name to the microphone, and then Coach, you can start with your opening remarks.
Say your name.
Okay. Oh, hi, I'm Meg Parker.
Chuck Waddington.
Sundara Chin.
Coach, opening statement.
Yeah, that was a pretty intense match. I don't know any other way to describe it. They play with so much heart and determination. It's hard to make the ball hit the floor, and we talked about it before the match that that's the type of match it's going to be, that we were going to have to match that intensity, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And I felt like for the most part we really did a nice job of that. Some really long rallies, some scramble plays that we came up with and found a way. That's really what it's about this time of year, is finding a way. Some clutch digs, some great decisions. From our setters, some big swings. Sun was ridiculously good in that fourth set. It was fun to watch. I was kind of got caught up in it a little bit because they couldn't stop her, and we were smart. We just kept giving her the ball. Kudos to these guys, these setters. But I'm really proud of this group. We don't talk about it much, but we went a couple years in the postseason not doing what we wanted to do. And this is a different group. They're a special group. I've been saying that for a long time, and they do things the right way. They set the bar in the gym. Our culture is where it needs to be, and it's really, we've got 6 seniors, and they all push us every single day, and I just, it makes my job as a coach a lot easier and more fun, because I don't have to hold the standard. These guys hold the standard, and when they feel like it needs to change, they change it, or they ask me to change it, which is, gosh, it's just hard to find a group of leaders like that. And we have 2 captains, but we have 6 captains. They're just great kids, and they work hard for each other all the time. And so that's what I like best about this group.
This isn't necessarily related to the actual in-game and playing the game, but you guys are the first game of the regional. Obviously, everybody's feeling a little bit anxious to get the tournament started. But it's you guys, you in West Texas, who got things started. So what's it like, being that first game, being the first game of the tournament, and getting everything started?
Well, this is our 9th straight year of coming to the regional, and I think at least 5 times we've been the first game. Either the 3 or the 6 or the whatever. I love it. I feel bad for the other teams that have to just sit around all day long and wait to play. I was bright-eyed at 5 a.m. this morning. I could not sleep anymore. I don't know if it was the same for these guys, but I was just, let's go. Is it time? Can we play? So, I like being in that position. I would have liked to host. I wouldn't mind playing the 7:30 game if we were hosting, but these guys could go to class, they could have a regular day, and I would just be me chomping at the bit instead of everybody. But opening up the tournament is it's a blessing. It just kind of lets us get off on the right foot and do the things we want to do earlier and not have to just sit and think about it all day long. It's brutal.
Coach, on Monday, you see the bracket come out, and you're like, West Texas, awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
What?
I mean, you guys have been going back and forth. Granted, they got new staff over there, but it's the same volleyball for them.
Yeah.
When you saw that your first round matchup, what was the first thing that went in your mind?
Well, I took a bigger look at it. 3 out of the 4 matches here this weekend are teams playing each other for the 3rd time. There's only 1 match that's new opponents. So everybody's going to be in the same boat. And it's tough. It's so tough to play a team 3 times because they know exactly what you're going to do, and the same thing, we know exactly what they're going to do, and who can stop it? Who's going to put in a wrinkle or do something a little different that's going to make a difference in the match? And, I have a ton of respect for Kendra. She unbelievable first year for her and their program. They're just only going to get better, So, so it's tough, it's tough to see an opponent that you're very familiar with. It just makes it harder for both sides, And but these kids rose to the occasion, and that's kind of what we've been doing. And we did it last week in the conference tournament, or I guess 2 weeks ago with Thanksgiving. Rise to the occasion, and they continue to do that. I'm so proud of them for that.
Megan, for you guys like to set your right side, so that first ball has to be so important just to give you a chance. How well did your back line do for you and for Lydiard tonight, so you guys could set up Chin and Gilbreth all night, or morning?
Oh, yeah. I mean, our defenders did a really good job today. I felt like we were in system a lot. We could run a lot of routes. We could set our right side. We could also just run a few crossing patterns, change it up, like he said. When you're in postseason, you are really predictable. So I think we did a good job of kind of mixing things up and giving them a different look.
And then for you, I mean, it wasn't just going up and hitting it as hard as you can. I mean, you found some holes on your tips. You found some spots in the back, back right corner. How were you able to see the floor so well tonight?
Well, like having a good pass, like really helps me with like my transition, and then like we run tempo a lot, and Meg did a really good job at getting me to the pin, so I did have options. One thing the coaches are always telling me is to like transition wide, so I do have options. And I just don't like hitting the same spot over and over again. Whether it was a kill or not, like I really wanted to get them out of system and make it easier for our side to dig, transition, and kill.
Coach, pass and serve was huge today, especially keeping them out of system. I mean, they got some heavy hitters and kids you're going to have to deal with for the next 3 years after today.
Yeah, they are.
How important was it to make sure you guys served aggressive?
Well, serving was critical for us. That's something it's a staple for us. We have got to set the tone from the service line. But the serve and pass game, one thing I got to say it, Chloe Patton came into the game, and they targeted her right away, and she was lights out, serve receive. She put us in great positions, really all match long. I can't think of one time that we weren't in a good position when they served her. I could be forgetting something, but it felt like she was locked in serve receive, and that's just a credit to her. And like Meg said, it gave us options, and we made the most of those opportunities.
And then for Allen in the middle, I mean, she had a couple of huge blocks and a couple of really quick defense to offense type hits where they were just hitting just outside the 10-foot. How important is it just to have that momentum there too? Yeah,
she's a game changer at the net, and she knows that she can be. She's so physical. She's got these giant hands. It's hard to get by them. But when she's up in transition, she's up really high, and it's just she's a good target for us to get the ball to, because in transition the other team is not always set, and every player has tendencies, and in serve receive it's easy to be in the right spot. But in transition, it's sometimes you get caught in the wrong spot, and she really exploited that and was just available for our setters. And credit to our defense, we were digging balls to put us in position to run our middle in transition. So it was really it's a group effort in that area for sure.
So there were several times that y'all were down a couple points, and you obviously called the timeout to break their rhythm up. Do you normally do you give them like a pep talk, or do you discuss strategy? Like, what's your point of view on when you're down a couple points?
I just give them reminders, things that we want to make sure that we're focusing on, sticking to. I try not to. Most of the time, and they'll probably say what, but most of the time I try to stay really calm and just say, hey, we got to do this. We got to make sure we're focusing on this and get back to what our game plan is. Every once in a while, I can get caught up in the moment and kind of, fire and brimstone a little. That I don't know how effective that is. It makes me feel better, but I'm sure it doesn't always make them feel better. But I try to make sure they understand, hey, this is what we want to do. We're going to come out of this timeout, and we're going to be efficient. We're going to do it right, and we try to focus on those little things out of the timeouts.
We'll wrap up with this. Obviously now you're kind of just waiting to see who you're going to play. So how do you approach that? Having been the first game, now you just got to wait and find out who you're playing next. And then how do you game plan in such a short window of time to come back and play against them again tomorrow?
Yes, that's exactly. She said we have a robot named Evan. He's our assistant coach, and we'll spend some time, we'll kind of take care of our bodies and make sure we eat. That's a big thing, is we've got to fuel ourselves because we've got to turn around and do it again. But an important piece of it is we've been preparing for a week and a half, for who we could potentially play, and that's not saying that we expect, we knew we were going to win, but we're preparing as if we're going all the way through, and I'm sure every team does that. So the other piece of it is that we're familiar with both of these opponents. We played Tarleton back-to-back weekends at the end of the season, and we played Mines earlier in the year. I mean, they're both great teams. I'm really interested to see how this match turns out, So, but our staff, we'll be up tonight kind of cranking some things out, preparing for this team, and whichever team it is, we'll sit and watch a little bit. We'll get something to eat and really work hard to hydrate and take care of our bodies in the next, 24 hours, I guess.
Awesome.
Congrats.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.